Hello, everyone. This is Frank Jacob. Yesterday, somebody sent me a link to Gregg Braden's video response to the questions that Jean Nolan and I had raised on the Inspired channel on one of our recent shows together. And of course, I went and checked it out. And I think those of you that were there as well live realized about halfway through it blacked out. So I, I tried to address what I did see in that video underneath it. And of course, that video got deleted, and so did my response. And then I saw today that there was a new completed video that had been re uploaded. So I carefully crafted a response to Gregg's wonderfully stated video. And I just couldn't get it up on YouTube. Every time I tried to upload it, they would delete it, or they would change, or like paragraphs would go missing. And so I just got frustrated, and I said, forget it. I'm just going to read it here on camera. And that way I'll just post it as a video response. So here goes. Hello, Gregg. First off, thanks for addressing this subject so directly. I think it helped clarify the issue for a lot of people. I'm likely one of the culprits that led to your making this video in the first place, via a topic I brought up on the Inspired channel. But I have to say straight out that Jean Nolan and I never said you were pro-transhumanism. Our public discussion appears to have been taken way out of context by certain people, such as those who misunderstood the conversation we had and then wrote incessant comments leading the dialogue in that direction. And I'm sure you are familiar with that kind of a situation. So we were working through some material that has recently surfaced that drew the connections between the late Barbara, Marx Hubbard, HeartMath, Esalen, and others, who have been some of the driving forces behind using soft tech, such as M-Wave and other devices, pushing a kind of pseudo-New Age spirituality, centering around Christ consciousness. So we termed it synthetic Christ consciousness, because it's based on the concept of the noosphere and the emphasis on the mind only. And this is where transhumanism is heading, away from the flawed natural biology and into this mind-centric universe, where the next step after technological enhancement of the human brain is immortality through the transfer of that mind into a machine or silicon. What was alarming to us, and what we expressed in our conversation, was your and Joe Dispenza's and Bruce Lipton's public affiliation with some of these organizations. It led us to question those affiliations, because we felt it was important to know where you guys stand in this regard. What emerges is a distinction between natural biological human evolution, a sort of quantum evolutionary leap in our collective human consciousness to another level altogether, and the synthetic human evolution into the AI digital world, pushed by Hubbard and those promoting technologically enhanced cognition, such as HeartMath. So investigative researchers whose material formed some of the basis of what we were looking at in that discussion, in publishing their findings, also showed a clear path to the funding behind think tank foundations set up by Hubbard, leading back to Rockefeller-backed entities. And you surely must know the Rockefeller connection leads inevitably to the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceuticals now being pushed forcibly upon society are accelerating the transhumanist goals very rapidly, primarily expressed through the now openly exposed technologies that have entered our bodies in the form of nanorobotics, lipid nanoparticle-based Q.AI gain-of-function mRNA delivery systems, self-assembly genetically engineered hydrogels, and the like. Trojan horse technologies that are now quietly altering the human DNA are real and must be addressed publicly by all who care to preserve the natural human existence. This is no conspiracy theory. So having become aware, taking an open public position against these diabolical developments should be everyone's imperative at this point, especially public figures and teachers such as yourselves. Is this not the end game? The fact that it seems like you guys are just somehow ignoring the elephant in the room has some of us rightfully concerned. Sure, it's great to point out all the amazing functionality that we humans have yet to discover, or innate abilities that we have, that you guys point out so amazingly. I do that too in some of the presentations and the films that I've produced and the webinars and stuff. But that is all for naught if we do not address the looming monster that could end biological human life forever. We're talking about natural human biological existence. Stands at the precipice of extinction in less than a generation. So what John and I were saying is that it's time for all teachers of truth in the world to make clear in a loud way what is going on and address the nefarious elements in society that are the driving forces behind where we are headed. They've got the money, they've got the media, they've got the political organization. They fly around and jet set all over the planet to meet regularly, eat their caviar dinners. And they are making decisions for us, for we the people. That's not what democracy is about. And I'm sure you know that as well. And I'm sure you have concern about that. So I think essentially you know who those players are. And I hope you understand, therefore, where I'm coming from. And I think it's safe to say I speak for Jean Nolan here as well. And by the way, if any of the source information that formed the basis of what led to our discussion is in any way false, then we'd be happy to set the record straight publicly as well. You can always reach out to me on my website. I'll put it here in the link. And, reach out anytime. This is not a closed discussion. This is an open discussion. We should all be having this discussion right now. It should be discussed everywhere, loud and wide. So with love and respect, this is me signing out, Frank Jacob. Thank you for all you do, Greg.